We all love Star Wars. The franchise has been fascinating people all over the world for 40 years now, and new movies are still coming out. With every great franchise, there also comes a lot of stuff like merchandise and anything that can make fans pay money for it. And Star Wars being one of the biggest movie sagas of all time, of course it had its own fair share of products produced over the years. But one thing Star Wars did better than any other movie franchise, and that is releasing video games. But for every good Star Wars game, there was at least two bad ones. Hey guys, I'm Luke from Sloth, and today we're going to talk about what the perfect Star Wars game would have to look like to be called truly great. So let's get right into it! Make lightsabers feel like in the movies. So in most Star Wars games, the lightsabers never are as fatal as they would be in the films. In the movies, lightsabers easily slash through everything. In video games, a lot of times they just feel like a plastic toy you hit someone on the head with until they decide to fall over compared to the movies. I think the games that got the closest to capturing the true power of a lightsaber are Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy and its sequel. The game makes you feel like a saber is dangerous. One wrong move and you or your opponent get sliced up. The force powers and lightsaber combat just feel satisfying and you get a slow-mo finisher after killing a bunch of enemies. Developers should definitely look at implementing a combat system close to this one. Please no DLC hell. I mean, do I have to say much to this? DLCs should be an extra and not a mandatory thing for you to purchase in order to enjoy a full game. Star Wars Battlefront from 2015 got pretty much ruined by the lack of content in the basic game and the $50 season pass. So please don't do that again. Use the source material like movies or books. We never got a big cinematic video game of the original Star Wars movies. Sure, there was a New Hope game for Game Boy or the Lego Star Wars games which told some of the story from the movies, but imagine a full-on recreation of the story from the original trilogy. Just being able to visit all the places and play as all the characters in a high definition setting while reliving the story of the prequels sounds like some fun time to me. But not only could game developers use the films as source material, they could also just use anything from the Star Wars expanded universe, which are just remarkable stories waiting to be told in video game form. Multiplayer should be a nice extra, not the main part of the game. This one is another point that wasn't even a problem till a few years ago. We can just hope that Star Wars Battlefront II is going to focus more on a huge story mode rather than only a decent multiplayer experience like its prequel. Multiplayers can be fun nonetheless, and I'm all for some epic blaster or lightsaber battles online. But like DLCs, I feel like it should be an extra option you play when you already gotten the most fun out of the single player. But again, these are first-person shooters, and it depends a little on the game for it to work as a multiplayer-only game. Look at Star Wars The Old Republic. It's an MMORPG, but that doesn't make it a bad game. So there's a way to work around it, just not with every genre. Let us explore a huge galaxy. Seeing the diverse planets in the galaxy is exactly something that made the Star Wars movies so much fun to watch. In the first 3 films alone, there's 11 different locations, and video games usually barely go to half of those. Exploring the galaxy is exactly what fans want from a Star Wars video game. And don't just make it a survival game type where you randomly go to every planet. Make our journey tie in with a great story and give us a reason to go to all these different planets. Don't forget what makes Star Wars so beloved. This is probably the most important point. There's so much variety in the Star Wars movies, from drama to thriller to action. It offers something for everyone. I don't think there's a general formula on how to make a perfect Star Wars game, but there sure as hell is some great ideas or source material game devs could base their work on. Well, that's this video. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know how you would make a good Star Wars game in the comments down below. And while this video might be over, make sure to subscribe to Sloth for more gaming lists, news and discussions uploaded daily. Your new #1 source for all things gaming.